Hello everyone, and welcome to the Counselor New Feature Summary for May 2021. Let's start with the first on the list here. We have now released an enhancement for the patient report. This enhancement greatly increases the flexibility of the patient report to be used in different situations. So the specifics here is we've added a custom section, meaning you can add templates, where we're talking text or tables, images, specifically to the patient report. So it could be used for post-fitting summaries, for specialty screening and overviews, or any type of summary that you want to create for a patient that you want highly customized to them, but obviously not part of the professional report. So let's have a look at that quickly. Within the patient visit screen, we're going to jump over to the patient report. Now, as you can see, typically this is used to build the patient counseling summary related to the audiogram, right? But there are scenarios where perhaps maybe you want to add to this, or you're doing this in place of the audiogram. Maybe, like I said, this is a post-fitting follow-up. You have the ability to click here on Edit Custom Section. You can have your own list of templates in the same way you can with history, results, recommendations, other sections within the counselor visit screen. I'm going to go ahead and just pick out a really basic one here. Let's say this is a post-fitting follow-up. We could have some basic information about the device itself and perhaps which device goes with which ear. So it can be much more impressive and complicated than this, but the idea being is that very quickly you can add that to your report. Now, if you decide that this is all you want on there, you don't want the other areas, you can certainly remove those, of course. So you'd go ahead and just get rid of those in a very similar fashion to how you modify the report layout for the professional report. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then that, of course, will update the patient report. Once again, this one's fairly basic, but give you a general idea that this gives you sort of an open template, right, where you can build the the patient reports that you want and use them on demand. All right. Of course, we're happy to help you build your templates. So if you have specific things you're looking for, as I mentioned with tables or images in particular, please let us know. We're happy to assist. All right. Now let's jump to the next area here, claims attachments. Also a very exciting area if you work in claims. And this gives you the ability to quickly add attachments to specific claims. In the past, of course, you had to go into your clearinghouse or provide that documentation directly to the payer. The focus here is that you can actually submit this with the claim. So let's go ahead and bring open a claim here. I've jumped right ahead into the claim, into the completed tab. This is where attachments are made. Or add, I should say. So here we can see attachment type. Now this will default to support data for claim. The code is OZ. We recommend leaving that unless you're told otherwise. We've been informed that's the most common selection there. In the next section here, we can see attachments. This is, of course, where you can load files. So this will be PDFs or potentially other files that you need attached. Once you have those attachments in place, then in this case, this claim has already been submitted. You can either update, or if it hasn't been submitted yet, you would be submitting for the first time by clicking submit. But the point is you can add those documents while you're in counselor, have those go to the clearinghouse, and then on to the payer. Now, it's important to qualify at this point two main things. First off, this feature is only available if you use ClaimMD as your clearinghouse. If you use Apex, unfortunately it's not at this point, or if you use, of course, a claim outside of ClaimMD or Apex, then it would not be available as well. The other qualifier is that not all payers accept attachments. And so it does need to be a payer that accepts an attachment. So you may want to check with ClaimMD if you do have instances where you need to submit attachments. They can likely guide you on whether that specific payer will or will not allow it. I will say Counselor does a check for that along the way. So if you are attempting to add documentation or attachment to the claim and you see that this section is not here, that means that the payer itself does not allow it. So Counselor is already performing that check, but you can always check with ClaimMD if you want to learn more. All right. Okay, so moving on here, consolidated statements. So as you recall from our last update, we did enhance the ability, or actually added a new feature where you can consolidate your statements. We've enhanced that ability to expand it out to a couple other areas, to the invoice report generator and to the AR aging summary. So same features we saw before, where you can say, do I want to print off single invoices, or statements I should say, or do I want to consolidate them? Okay. All right, let's jump next to online scheduling. So there is the ability now to customize the name of your clinic. So this is the patient-facing name on the online scheduler. So if there's a reason you want to have the patient see a slightly or significantly different name when they go through the online scheduler, perhaps you have a doing business as name, then you can display that differently than would be internally within your system. Okay, and here are the instructions on how to get to there. Once again, we can guide you through this process if you need any assistance. There's also a new dashboard widget called the Online Schedule Tracking, and that enables you to see where those online scheduling requests are coming from. So it just gives you kind of a little deeper understanding of where the online scheduling is coming from and then what happened downstream from there. So if you do use online scheduling, we'd recommend that you add that to your dashboard for review. We've added a new section also to stock tracking, and this is the ability to see what's been dispensed. So if we jump into our line item list here, I'm going to go ahead and just open up a device that has stock included. So let's grab an old device here. We'll click on the stock tab. Now we can see, you're likely accustomed to seeing this where you can see a list of all your current stock. But beneath there is another section called dispense stock. And that's where you can see what has happened previously. So if there is a device that maybe disappeared, or just there's something you have a question about and you need a little better sense of the history of the device, you can simply go into the line item administration, go into the specific device, view the stock tab, and then you can view the available and the dispense stock. Okay, if you did need to return this one for some reason, maybe there was some sort of error, you could go and edit a device, add the availability to 1, and it would move it back up into the available stock. So that's sort of an unusual scenario, but it does come up, so that option is available as well. All right, and last but not least, the payer list. We've added the ability to track a phone number. So within the payer list itself, let's go down here to the bottom left, you can edit individual payers. You can see these two already have telephone numbers in place along with the address. So if you do want to add a telephone number, this is really just a reference for you so that you can access this anytime. But if we jump into a specific one here, you can go ahead and add the phone number. It will format as you're typing straight away. And then once it's in place, we'll see the list refresh, and now there is our number. All right, so thank you once again, of course, for all your ideas and suggestions. We're very happy to bring these new changes and enhancements to you. Please let us know if you have any questions or if we can assist you in any way. Thank you very much for joining us for the Counselor Updates and Enhancements overview. Have a wonderful week.